March is over. It was a great reading month. I'm working on a video that is just going through all the books that I read and letting you know what I thought about those books. So be on the lookout for that. But today is not about March books, it's all about what I'm planning to read in the month of April. Hi everyone, welcome and welcome back to my channel. My name is Chantel Yvonne and I'm so excited that you're here with me today. It's the start of a new month, which always just makes me feel, I don't know, like, refreshed or, I don't know, like inspired. I think new months make me feel inspired. And so I'm definitely feeling that way. It is April and the weather has been nice. Actually, guys, we had 80-degree weather here the other day, and it was just glorious. The birds are singing all day long, and it's really lovely to be outside. So I think it's just a great time as well to read, just to read. So I'm loving it. I'm waking up earlier in the morning because the sun is coming up early, and I always have a book right by my bed, and so I wake up early and I just start the morning off reading, which is one of the best ways to start the day off for me. So today, you guys, I'm going to be sharing with you all of the treasures that I found to read during the month of April, and I'm not going to waste any time. I'm just going to get right into it. But before I do so, if you have not done already, I want you to just go ahead and like, subscribe, hit that bell notification so that you can always be notified when a new video drops, and you can help this channel grow. Yes, help us grow. Help us grow in the month of April. That would be lovely, and thank you. I appreciate it. Honestly, I do. All right, now without further ado, let's jump into April's reads. So I just decided to do this video because I didn't want it to come out late. Everything is not so organized in my mind as I would like it to be. So just bear with me. But I'm going to start talking about, I think, 3 nonfiction reads that I'm doing this month. The first one is called Eat, Shoots, and Leaves. It is by Lynn Truss. And it is a book that was given to me for my birthday, actually, by my second daughter. And have you ever received a gift and the person just, spot on, oh my gosh, that's you, spot on. This is this type of gift for me. So this book is actually, the whole title is Eats, Shoots, and Leaves, the Zero Tolerance Approach to Punctuation. And so for those of you all who don't know, I'm a homeschooling mom, and I love everything. I love grammar, you guys. I love grammar. I love grammar. Adjectives are my favorite, along with prepositions. And I love teaching grammar to my kids. And so when I read the back of this book, because I had no idea, what is this book about? Why, she was so excited to give it to me. She was like, Mom, listen to this. So here we go. What is this book about? A panda walks into a cafe. He orders a sandwich, eats it, and then draws a gun and fires 2 shots into the air. Why? Asks a confused waiter as the panda makes towards the exit. The panda produces a badly punctuated wildlife manual and tosses it over his shoulder. I'm a panda, he says at the door. Look it up. The waiter turns to the relevant entry and, sure enough, finds an explanation. Panda. Large, black, white, bear-like mammal, native to China, eats, shoots, leaves. So punctuation really does matter, even if only it is a matter of life and death. So this book, this little treasure here is all about, I think, just punctuation. It might give rules of punctuation and where it came from. I'm really excited to read it and to be even nerdier about punctuation than I already am. So this is such a great gift. And when I saw it, I was like, oh, I feel seen by my daughter. So I'm excited to read this one. Okay, next book, I'm just going to toss these books on the floor, is another nonfiction that I'm really excited to read. This is called The Hidden Roots of White Supremacy and the Path to a Shared American Future. This book is written by Robert P. Jones. And I actually went to, is this a signed copy? I don't think this is a signed copy. I actually went, you guys, to to see a talk when he was talking about this book. And where was that? It was at Georgetown University. That's where it was. It was at Georgetown University, and it was really so well done, so well done. So I was excited to read it. I just have not like gotten to this book. It's been one of those books that has been sitting on my shelf and like read me, read me, read me. So I thought that this would be a good month to read this book. And what I was interested about this and also in the talk, it's not just telling the story of white supremacy in America. It does that, and it does it back all the way back to 1493. It's when it traces back. But it also does a great job in examining communities, contemporary communities in Mississippi, Minnesota, Oklahoma, those kind of three communities for models of racial repair. And I was really interested in not just, as it says, like the legacy or the history of white supremacy, but communities that have seemed to at least do racial repairing. And I'm interested to see like what process did they take? What did that look like? Um, um, how did it come about? And has it been sustained? Those are just some questions that I have as I engage in this book. So I'm really going to be, I hope to like come back and do a fuller kind of talk about what I learned from this book. Robert P. Jones also has a Substack. I think it's called Robert P. Jones. I will look it up, but I will link his Substack information in the show notes below because I really do like his writing. I also subscribe to that and enjoy reading his writing when it comes out. It's a very thoughtful writer. So, yay. Okay. So, this is definitely one. This is going to be a little heavier, you guys, a little deeper, a little heavier than the grammar book. So that's going to stretch me in a different way. Okay, so the next book that I have is called Silent Spring by Rachel Carson. Now, this is a very, very, very different book for me. Um, I was given this book by a friend, a family friend. Her name is Jean. Thank you, Jean. And she gave me this book because she was moving and she was giving me her beloved plants and that she had in her garden for years. And they're like very mature shrubs and stuff. And I was like, I'll take them because I was really in a mood where I was like, I'm going to get into gardening and I'm going to plant a garden. And we did plant a garden in the fall. I'm afraid, you guys, of what it's going to look like in the spring, just to be honest. I don't know what it's going to look like. This is what it is now. I don't know if I did it right. I don't know if our soil was good. I don't know. So we'll see. I'll give you an update on what that situation is looking like. But I really was encouraged because this is a woman that not only does she, make things grow, but she just has such a knowledge and a love for nature. And as she was talking, she really inspired me to learn more about it. And this book, Silent Spring, is said to have really kind of sparked the environmentalist movement. It says that Rachel Carson was a pivotal figure to help kind of bring to light the issues that were going on in our environment in the 1960s. And so this book is a course of history. It's an outcry for banning DDT and other just harsh chemicals in our environment, and really does talk about, I think, the damage that it does and ways in which, people who don't know or that's not your thing would not imagine that it did. So I'm really looking forward to this book. I'm trying to find, I was flipping through one of the things that I was drawn to it where I was like, okay, I'm really going to read this. They have these beautiful like sketches. Isn't that beautiful? I think it's so beautiful. That begin each chapter, and I like that. So I don't know how I'm gonna pace through this book. This might be like April, May for me, but I'm definitely gonna start it, and I'm looking forward to learning a lot and being, yeah, just being expanded by this. I'm looking forward to be expanded by this. All right, so that one's done. I'm not like throwing my books. It sounds like I'm just throwing my books down. I am gently pushing them down on the floor. How about that? Okay, so the next books are fiction, fiction, fiction. And so one day I was walking along. I think there's a song that's like I was walking along. Anyways, one day I was walking along and I was doing like, I don't know, I was probably taking one of my kids somewhere to some activity because that's what I do a lot. And so, anyways, I was walking along and there was the dream of book lovers. You guys, it was an outdoor like book sale, just tables and tables and tables of books. And it was like used books that were like really cheap. And I just was like, oh, I had that feeling. I know you know what that feeling is. I know you know what that feeling is. And I had that feeling, and my husband was with me, and I was like, I'm going to be good. I'm gonna be good. I'm gonna not like just go crazy because if it's a book on a discount, it just means I buy more books. That's what it means. But anyways, I did really, 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 really good. Um, and I had to hurry though, you guys, because I actually didn't have time to just peruse and to really be thoughtful. But I knew like I am not passing this moment by without getting some books. So I just grabbed books. I just grabbed some books. So I'm going to share the books that I grabbed. I grabbed 4 books. I grabbed a book. I grabbed a couple of books for my kids too. But these 4 books I grabbed for myself. So the first one is a novel called Tell Me Everything by Elizabeth Strout. And I just like the cover. I like the birds. I just like it. Um, I'm just noticing for those of you all who care, it was an Oprah's Book Club winner for 2024. I'm just seeing that little thing right there. Also, it was a #1 New York Times bestselling author, and this book was the winner of a Pulitzer Prize. I am so happy that I got this book. But I opened up this book, and I like to read the beginning of books. If you don't catch me in like the first couple of sentences, you're done. I'm not going to get you. So I'm going to read to you the first couple of sentences in this book, and that's why I got this book. This is the story of Bob Burgess, a tall, heavy-set man who lives in a town of Crosby, Maine, and he is 65 years old at the time that we are speaking of him. Bob has a big heart, but he does not know that about himself. Like many of us, he does not know himself as well as he assumes to, and he would never believe he had done anything worthy in his life to document. But he does. We all do. I was like, oh, I want to read more. And if I don't get that feeling that I want to read more, I don't get it. I don't buy it. That's how I kind of make my decisions with a book. I really don't rely on what the cover says. But just to give you a little bit more background, um, it's autumn in Maine, and the town lawyer, excuse me, bless me. Okay, I had to sneeze. I felt it coming on. Sorry about that. Okay, it's autumn in Maine, and the town lawyer, Bob Burgess, has become enmeshed. Ah, sorry. Okay, here we go. It's autumn in Maine, and a town lawyer, Bob Burgess, has become enmeshed in an unfolding murder investigation, defending a lonely, isolated man accused of killing his mother. He has also fallen into a deep and abiding friendship with the acclaimed writer Lucy Barton, who lives down the road in a house by the sea with her ex-husband, William. Lucy and Bob go on walks and talks about their lives, their fears and regrets, and what might have been. Lucy, meanwhile, is finally introduced to the iconic Olive Kitteridge, now living in a retirement community on the edge of town. and the two spend afternoons together in Olive's apartment telling each other stories. Stories about people they have known, unrecorded lives, Olive calls them, reanimating them, and in the process, imbuing their lives with meaning. So I just love that this is I don't know, it just seems like just a really good story. I think that they'll probably be just, I'm anticipating lovely writing and great characterization. And yeah, it's one of those books that probably just expand the heart. So I'm looking forward to reading this and seeing how I like it. Tell Me Everything by Elizabeth Strout. Okay, next is I'm gonna go to this book because it's colorful. And to be honest with you all, I just picked it up. I did not have time to even read the beginning or to see what it was about. I literally chose this one because of its color. And it's colorful, and it was a rainy day kind of. It wasn't raining, but it was gloomy outside on this particular day when I ran into this impromptu book book kind of sell. So I liked the color. The Authenticity Project, though. But after when I got in the car and I read the back and I was like, okay, what did I get? I was like, ooh, I'm glad that I picked this up. This looks interesting. So this is a novel. It's a story about six strangers that leads to unexpected friendship and even love. So Julian Jessup is our protagonist in this story, an eccentric, lonely artist that believes that most people aren't really honest with one another. But what if they were? And so he writes in a plain green journal the truth about his own life, and he leaves it in his local cafe. It's run by the tidy and efficient Monica, who adds her own entry and leaves the book in the coffee bar across the street. And before long, others who discover the green notebook, they add their truths about their deepest selves and soon find each other in real life at in Monica's cafe. That's kind of what happens in this book. And so this is written by Clare Pooley. I am not familiar with her work at all. So this is going to be just a fun book. I'm going on, I'm traveling. I'm traveling at the end of April. And so I just thought that this might be a fun book to travel with. Sometimes I like to, read a little bit lighter books. So this is definitely one that I can see, just being in the airport, more delay, and again, more delay. And so having a good book to just kind of, you know, escape with. So, yes, the Authenticity Project. Speaking of traveling and books to escape with and just have like a fun light read, I also am reading a Penny Lewis mystery. I like Penny Lewis. I This will be my second Penny Lewis. The first one I read was called State of Terror that she did with Hillary Clinton, and I will leave a link to my thoughts about that book in the show notes below. But this one has us in the hamlet of Three Pines. It's around Thanksgiving. You know what the deal is. Somebody comes up dead. They have to kind of solve like who did it. Chief Inspector Gamache is going to find out who did it. And, something is foul during this holiday season. Dun, dun, dun. So this is really kind of probably very straightforward. And that's probably, the plot. I really liked Lewis Penny and what I read because I like the pacing was really good. And it just does what it needs to do, which is just to be kind of like that fast paced kind of adrenaline rush that I get when I read novels like this, and it's really perfect for when I'm going on holiday, again traveling. So these two books, these are my travel books. One light, maybe with romance, so romantic and mystery. So there we go. Okay, next on my list. Wow, it's another mystery. So here's the deal, you guys. I have not read a mystery. I didn't read one in January, February, or March. In April, it's all about the mysteries. So this book, Conclave, by Robert Harris. So I was actually asked to read this book with neighbor couple friend of ours, my husband and I. So we're gonna like have a couples reading book thingy going, and they picked this book, and it is a mystery, Conclave, and it is by author Robert Harris. So they actually saw the movie. They saw the movie, which I don't know when the movie came out, but they saw the movie and they really liked it. So they were like, "Hey, let's read the book." So this is set in Rome, and it says the Pope is dead. Behind the locked doors of the Sistine Chapel, 118 cardinals gather to cast their votes, as they do, to see who is going to be the next pope. We know that happens, right? When all is said and done, one of them will become the most powerful spiritual figure on earth. But in their cloistered debate, they uncover things like abuse and corruption. And it's a scandal that happens. And from the scandal, things happen. And they want to know, is the new pope worthy of his post? So we're going to kind of see what happens. I don't know if it's like, maybe it's suspenseful. I don't know if it's like somebody dies. I don't know. But I'm here for it. I'm going to read it. I'm looking also forward to chatting about it because I think it's always great when you can talk about books when you read them, because they evoke a response. And I always want to like talk about a book when I read it. Okay. Um, the next book that I have is called Hell of a Book by Jason Mote, another New York Times best-selling author. So this author was also wrote The Returned. I've never read a Jason Mote book before, so this will be my first. So I'm excited. I am excited. I think that this is another mystery. I did not actually get to do a lot of research on this one. This was one of my like book that nice, beautiful, cloudy day of the book. The book, what do we get? It's not a book fair. It's like a pop-up bookstore. Yeah, that's what it was. So I picked this one because of the title, Hell of a Book. And I also liked the cover. It's just like crumbling away at a book. So that's what really drew me to this book. But I want to read you what it's about just in case you're interested in it too. It says an African American author sets out on a cross country publicity tour to promote his best selling novel. That storyline drives Hell of a Book and is the scaffolding of something much larger and more urgent. Mott's novel also tells the story of Suit, a young black boy living in a rural town in the recent past, and The Kid, a possibly imaginary child who appears to the author on his tour. So I was like, this sounds very interesting to me, and I'm gonna give it a go. I'm gonna give it a go. So we'll see. I'll come back and let you know my thoughts with this one, as I really don't know how to predict how I'm gonna like it. Let's see. Oh, there's one more book also that I'm reading this month. I do not have it yet. It is on its way. I'm reading this one with a book club. It's called The Secret Lives of Baba Sige's Wives by Lola Shonian. And it is a novel. And it says it's a steering tale of men and women, mothers and children, servitude and independence. The Secret Lives of Baba Sige's Wives illuminates the common threads that connect the experiences of all women, the hardships they bear, the struggles to define themselves, and the fierce desire to protect those who they love. And this author is, I think it's Nigerian, I want to say, and I believe so. So yes, I am so. Oh, it's yes, and it's set in modern day Nigeria. Oh, this is a debut novel. I really love reading debut novels, so I'm excited to read this one, and also excited to talk about it during my book club. And we are going to be going to a restaurant to talk about it and eat some Nigerian food. So that's going to be fun. I'm really looking forward to that. that is all that I have for the month of April. Thanks so much for listening to all of my reads and hanging out with me. Please let me know what you are going to be reading in the month of April. Also, if you've read any of these books, please don't spoil it for me. Not yet. But let me know in the show notes below. Like, let me know if you liked it or not, or your thoughts. I would appreciate that. Also, I have 0 books right now committed for my May reads. So if you have any book suggestions that you think I should read in the month of May, also leave that in the comment section below, because I'd like to get some selections and just start, gathering my books. I like to see my TBR stack grow and grow and grow. So thank you for the help. Also, thank you for the love. Thanks for hanging out with me. I hope that you all have a great month of reading. And I hope that you stay safe and stay well. And before you go, if you haven't done already, did you like the channel? And subscribe. Subscribe, y'all. Come on, subscribe. You need to do it. Subscribe. Thank you very much. And as always, stay reading. Until next time. Bye.